As the holidays are approaching, I thought I would do a fun holiday makeup look that's a little different than a typical holiday party look. This is a little bit more natural, and I was inspired by Sabrina Carpenter's makeup looks. I feel like I'm really late to the train on being obsessed with her. I went down that rabbit hole, so here's some of the inspiration photos. And I'm doing this look completely with Jones Road products, so we are doing a more natural Jones Road look for today's video. I always like to start with prepped skin, so before I've done anything else, I used this Alpen Beauty toner all over my face with a little cotton round. Then I used this Mara vitamin C oil. If you know me, you know that I love anything from Mara, so this helps with brightening, and it feels more like an oil rather than a serum, so if you have dry skin, it feels really good on dry skin. And then I also used the Alpen Beauty eye cream right here, and this also has a little bit of like brightening to it as well. So that's what I've prepped my skin with. I've waited about 10 minutes for that to sink into the skin, and I always like to start with the eyes first. That way if anything settles and falls, we can just like wipe it clean. Let's get started. To prep my eyes, I'm going to use one of the face pencils from Jones Road, and I think I'm going to use a pinker color just because the eye look is a pink look. I'm going to use shade 8 on my eyelid. I also really like to get into the inner corner here because there tends to be some discoloration in this area. So when you use a pink color, it helps with canceling out any blues or purples. You can use your fingers with the Just a Sec little pods here, but I'm going to use a dense brush with this. I'm going to use a brush like this, and then I'm going in with this shade Baby Pink. If you want more color payoff, sometimes it's nice to use your finger because you can get a little bit more intense pigment on the eyes. I want to keep the eyes nice and bright, so I'm not going to go in with any darker colors in the crease. Now I'm going to use the Just a Sec in Linen, which is a light shade, and I'm going to use this just right on the center of the lid. Later I'm going to use this color in the inner corners of the eyes too, once I finish the base. Now I'm going to go in with Onyx, which is a black liner with silver flecks to it. I'm also going to keep this just on the outer corners of the eyes. I'm keeping the eye look really simple, so I'm just going to use a little lash curler and then do some mascara. I like to press and pulse. I have a little travel-sized mascara. Sabrina has a doll-like look. I'm not going to just focus on the outer corners. I'm also going to really get into this inner corner here too to make the eyes look more round. So I've just added a few coats of mascara, and to add a little bit more shimmer to the lid, I'm going to go in with the shade So Pretty, which is this silvery shade right here. I'm going to go directly into the shadow and then just put a little bit on the center of the lid again. Okay, now for the scary part. I've been seeing TikToks where people will recreate this look and they'll add blush as the first thing before they do anything else. I think I'm going to use that approach as well. I am going to use the shade Bright Pink. This is a lip and cheek stick. I'm going to be pretty generous with this because I think that a lot of Sabrina's looks tend to be very blush heavy. This is a little scary. I also see them tend to go up like that as well. I'm going to use my finger and just put a little bit on my nose. I'm going to slowly start blending this blush out with a brush. To see how easily this blends out, it's such a creamy product and super easy to use. Crazy how easy it blends out. To stick with the underpainting technique, I'm going to use the gel bronzer in the shade Light. I'm going to use this kabuki style brush and slowly start incorporating the light. So now that I've created a base, I'm gonna go in with the face pencils on any areas that need some coverage. I'm gonna go in with shade 11 on the under eye area. I'm gonna use the warmth of my hands and just pat and blend this out. I have a little blemish over here, so I'm gonna use the face pencil in the shade 4. And I'm just gonna go directly over top of this. And I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit so that we can have maximum coverage in this area because it's very red. I'm also just gonna tap right around it too so that when I blend it out, it doesn't look like a little white dot in this area. I also love to use a lighter face pencil around the corners of the mouth as well, just to sharpen up this area. I'm using this face pencil as well to reverse contour, which basically means putting a lighter shade here to create more of a shadow in that area. I have a lot of discoloration on this side of my face. I'm gonna draw a few lines in this area to help with that discoloration. I'm gonna avoid the forehead entirely because I don't really need coverage in that area, so I'm just gonna not put anything there. Women tend to get a lot of redness around their nose area, so I'm gonna put shade 4 in that area too. Right now my under eyes are looking a little pink because we put that neutralizer on first. So now I'm gonna go in with a mix of shade 4 and shade 9 on my under eye area. I think these face pencils are super easy to use. They're very easy to travel with, and if you find that they're too dry, just warm it up on the back of your hand because the #1 ingredient in here is castor seed oil, so it does have natural oils in the formula. It just needs a little bit of warming up. Also making sure that your skin is prepped with a hydrating oil or a hydrating moisturizer that will really help the face pencils apply more smoothly onto your skin. Now that I'm all marked up, I'm gonna go in with the warmth of my fingers and just blend everything into the skin. Starting to see more color coming through there, so I'm gonna go back in with the face pencil. Okay, I'm gonna go back into this area right here and go directly over it again, and I'm gonna let that sit for a while. I'm gonna quickly do the brows. I'm using the shade Light Brunette. This is the best brow. Mine is actually getting pretty short. I use this almost daily. If you look closely, you'll see that there's little fibers in this pencil, and those fibers can attach to the hair and create more dimension and fullness to the brow. So if you see little fibers in your brow pencil, just know that it's actually meant to be there. I'm going in with the brow gel in clear. I'm gonna brush the hairs up as much as I can. This will create a more lifted effect. I still feel like I'm looking a little pale, so I'm gonna go in with 2 different bronzers, and I'm gonna use the bronzer brush here, and I'm gonna go in with Dusty Rose and Light Tan. This is what Dusty Rose looks like. It's a really cool, unique shade. Since this is kind of a pink makeup look, I figured Dusty Rose would be a really nice bronzer to incorporate into this look. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with Light Tan, and I'm gonna soften this up a bit. I'm still seeing a little bit of discoloration in this area, so I'm gonna use 2 different powders. I'm gonna go in with light, and I'm gonna mix it with pink. Mix these 2 together. I'm using this little velvet guy here. I'm also gonna go directly over this spot here with the powder as well. To bring back that pinky blush, I'm gonna use Pop. This is a powder blush. I just depotted it and put it in a different container. I'm gonna use a blush brush here and place it right where I placed that blush earlier. I'm focusing it right here rather than on the apple of the cheek. I'm gonna go over this blush with the pink powder to blend out any harsh lines. I want to add some dewiness to my skin, so I'm gonna use the limited edition Mini Miracle Balm in Platinum Pink. This has a base of all natural, but then it has silver shimmer to it. You could also use the shade Happy Hour. I'm warming this up with my fingers. Okay, to further brighten it, I'm gonna go in with Happy Hour too. It's a little bit of pink to it, so I think it'll be pretty with the blush. To finish this pinky look, I'm gonna use the lip pencil in Nude Pink. My lips are a little dry right now, so I'm gonna use the Hippie Stick, one of my all-time favorite Jones Road products. And I don't think I'm gonna go in with anything other than the Hippie Stick and the lip pencil. I really like the glow, so I'm gonna finish the look by spraying this Josh Rosebrook Hydration Mist on the skin. This spray will really help merge the powders and the creams together. I want to brighten up the inner corners of the eyes, so I'm going to use the shade Linen again, right on the inner corner of the eye. I feel like this makeup look is a little bit more approachable than Sabrina Carpenter's go-to looks. It's a little bit more natural as well. I think that this is a nice holiday look that you could do pretty much year-round, and I just love that bright pink blush. Probably what makes this look stand out. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this video, and please let me know if you have any questions.